Good morning, everyone. Morning, Sale. I can see you before you even turn up. So I'm going to make Indian food today. Hello, Elizabeth. So, this week I said that I was going to do vegetarian. This is probably the longest number of days I've gone in my life without eating meat, with the singular exception of the 3 strips of bacon that I fried to make the carrot jalapeno soup on Monday, I think that was. That's it. That's all the meat I've had all week. And I grew up on a beef, pork, and tobacco farm, so I don't know from not eating meat. This has been exciting. Hello, Martha. Hello, Bobby. Hello, Thomas. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make a Tikka Masala sauce, and I'm going to roast some cauliflower. I'll tell Jody I'm sorry for the cauliflower, but I had it and I thought what a great thing to do. So I've gotten a few things prepped up here to start. So here's what we're going to do. The first thing I did this morning was I clarified some butter. So I took 2 tablespoons of butter. I heated it up just to where it started popping, and then I let it sit. I skimmed as much of the solids off as I could, and then I ran it through my little fine mesh, and so I have perfectly clarified butter. The Indians call it ghee, G-H-E-E, and so I'm going to get this coming up to heat. I've got an onion cut fine here, and over here I have already measured out all my spices. So I have a tablespoon of cumin, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of ground ginger, a little more than a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon, no, maybe that's a quarter teaspoon, I'll double check that, a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon, and turmeric. That's the last one. So these are all going to go into the onions after they start to become a little translucent is the word I'm looking for. So I'm just waiting for my pan to get hot in here, and then I'll put my ghee in. And I think it's probably hot enough. I did still have a little milk solid there in the bottom of that, but not so bad. I haven't done enough research to know exactly why the milk solids are evil, except that they brown, right? That's what makes your brown butter brown. So that is nice and warm already. So I'm going to uncover my onions. I cut them up about an hour ago. I didn't want my whole house smelling like onions. So there we go. Bum, bum, bum. And those are going right in there. Pardon me, so I don't make a terrible mess. Here we go. I love a rubber spatula so much. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that all that butter or the ghee touches all the onions. And those are going to start to cook a little bit there. That back in here, and then I've got 4 cloves of garlic ready to roll. Just smashed them so I can peel them really fast. I didn't want them to dry out since I got all this set up about 11 o'clock this morning. Who else is here this morning? Hello, Rennie. We saw Rennie this morning. Rennie, that hair of yours was really rocking this morning, I have to say. And for those of you who might not be clear, I did not sleep over with him last night. So let's see, ghee in the coffee, that's good, right? And hello Lisa, hello Dana, hello Carol. So guys, let's get these little babies. I really have got to think about investing in some free music because I don't get up early enough most mornings to get myself a playlist going. So, what else do we have here? I'm about to get these little guys cleared off. And then I'm just gonna pull a Rachel Ray and do them right into the pan. You know how I love to microplane, guys. My favorite thing. Hello, Marcia. How are you? And so I'm just gonna real quickly give these a little grate right into the pan. Excellent. Now I have already started heating up my oven to, well, actually I should probably turn it down because there we go, to 425 is where I have it. And as soon as we get this going, we'll start working on the, on the cauliflower. Sorry guys, I'm so far away and I'm so blind I can't see who's doing, but I hope you guys are amusing yourselves over there. having plenty to say. Yesterday, I realized that someone I apologize that I do not know had gotten on here and said some pretty vulgar things, but I blocked that person. So hopefully that will not happen. I apologize if anyone was offended yesterday. I was, but that's okay. So let's see. Hello, Lisa. And there we go. Let's clean this little bit of mess up. Boom. Excellent. So my shock and horror from this morning is that I read that AMC Theaters thinks that they are not going to be able to reopen after all of the lockdown and stuff because, and this is shocking to me, they're burning through $155 million a month because they have $4.9 billion in debt. As I said, that's not a business, that's a bank loan. So this is one of the things that I hope that we realize when we come back out onto the other side is that the way we've been doing business is no good for anybody, right? So let's all think about those kinds of things as we move forward. I saw a little thumbs up go up there, so God bless any of you who are thumbsing up in me. So I'm going to turn this bad boy down a little bit because I'm getting a little browning in here. And now I'm just going to toss all of these spices right in there so that they can get nice and yummy smelling in here with all of this stuff. We're going to let that sit for a while, or let this cook up together for a little while. And while we're doing that, let's see here. Just let those cook a little bit. Is there anything else I have left to go in here? I don't think so. I do have my rice set up to go, but I'm going to do the cauliflower first. So I'm going to do the cauliflower exactly the way that you would do the chicken, if it was a traditional chicken tikka. So there's sugar, salt, and just good old curry powder, right? So I'm going to toss all of this in here, and I'm just going to kind of toss it around a little bit so that it gets all over my bits and pieces of cauliflower. There we go. And then I'm just going to pour some olive oil on here. There we go. And I'm going to let that get all... I think I may have a renegade piece of cauliflower. And then somewhere around here, I have a skillet. You know how I like to use a little of this. I'm just going to put this in here. And if it looks like it might need a little bit more oil in here, so we'll get that in there. And all of our herbs and spices and sweetness. There we go. Perfect. So let's see. Oh, Lisa, I'm making tikka masala, not chicken tikka masala, because I decided at the first of this week, as I said, that when you're a Protestant, we don't have anything but feast days. There's no days of famine, right? So I figured that since we don't do things like fish on Fridays and stuff, that I would kind of do a little nod to my Catholic friends and kind of participate a little bit in the privation of Lent. So I'm going to stick those babies in there. I'm going to set myself a 20-minute, here we go, 20 minutes, timer, and here is 20 minutes. So that 20 minutes is both for my cauliflower, but it's also going to be for all of this cooking together. So this calls for, after the onion and all those spices that we put in here, calls for actually a 14-ounce can of tomato sauce, but all of the cans of tomato sauce at my store were 15 ounces. So there you go. Hello, Denise. Hello, Carolyn. So here we go. I'm going to just put a little water in here so that I can get all of the goodness out of this. I know it's a little extra, but who cares? That can't hurt anything or anybody. So here we go. Now, that's going to cook, and this is also now supposed to sit and cook for about 20 minutes, about 10 minutes, and then we have to add a couple of more ingredients, a little paprika and a little heavy cream. And I think that is all. I'm trying to do this, from memory, a recipe I've never made in my entire life. That's one of the fun things about this, is making stuff you've never made before. Now, in order to give myself a little space here, I'm going to put all these, pardon me, just a little bit of, give myself a little more space here. Here we go. Back up. Oh, so the curry powder can go also. There we go. Now, this is cooking a little too high. Let's turn this baby down just a bit more. Perfect. And then I'm going to put the top on this so that I don't lose much of the moisture in here. I've got something skinny. Hello, Kel. How are you? Hello, Kim. Oh, goodness. So, guys, again, we're making Tikka Masala sauce. And since I am having maybe the first vegetarian week of my entire life, I am going to use cauliflower instead of chicken. And next thing we got to do is get the rice started. So I have a cup of rice measured out here. I have 2 cups of water measured here. So I'm going to come over here and don't fall. Let's get this one started. There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to let that one warm up. And I'm going to put a little butter and thank you. Hello, Tracy. So yeah, anybody who hasn't been here, my kitchen is 45 square feet. It is 9 feet by 5 feet. No, not even 5 feet. Maybe a little, maybe 5.5 feet. Let's call it 50 square feet. And I have fridge, sink, stove, and I have exactly 30 inches of countertop space here off of which I can work. And before I redid my kitchen in 2016, the 80s version of this kitchen had my stove here with 15 inches here, 15 inches on this side of the sink, and then maybe about 18 inches here. It was horrible. It was a terrible way to try to work. And that's probably why I've cooked more in the last 4 years than I have cooked in the last 20 years. So that pan is probably a little too hot, but I am going to put just a touch of olive oil and just a little tiny bit of beurre in that pan. There we go. And then as soon as there's that, I'm just going to put my rice in there in about 2 seconds as soon as that butter disappears. Almost. Come on. There we go. And I'm just going to give that just a little bit, because warming this stuff up before you cook it and coating them with the fat just is going to make your rice that much more delicious. I'm using basmati, which is the appropriate one. Hello, George. Hello, Nancy. Guys, it's been great seeing everybody's senior pictures up online in the last couple of days. It brings back memories for sure, right? And it's so nice. And I feel so bad for all the kids that are 2020 graduates not having a senior musical and not having senior awards and all the things that we all got to have and that you just think of being a part of your rite of passage. And the other piece is that I keep thinking about the kids who are going to college in the fall, and I hope they get to go to college in the fall, right? So anyway, this is almost where it needs to be. I need another spoon. Here we go. There we go. So as soon as I feel like, for me, as soon as I feel like that all of my rice grains look as though they kind of absorbed some fat, then water. And we're supposed to bring that to a boil and then turn the heat down, let it simmer for 20 minutes or until all the water is gone. And I'm going to put my plop of salt in there too. And now I can maybe put that away. Now there is the thing, I've got to remember what I'm supposed to do to this next. And that is cream and paprika. But I've got to look and see exactly how much because I didn't pre-measure that out. And that is still looking pretty good, but it sure needs to cook a while. So there's that. So I've got the cauliflower roasting at stay home as much as possible. So I have cauliflower roasting with a little sugar, salt, and curry powder at 425 degrees. I've got my tikka here cooking, and I've got my rice on. I should probably get my top to my pan out. Let's see. Wrong one. Right one. Excellent. So there we go. So now you guys amuse yourself 2 seconds while I go get my laptop and check and see what else I'm supposed to put in this stuff. Oh, they're renegade.
For our associates, for being out in front and for all you do behind the scenes.
I really need more devices. I don't quite have enough equipment to run this show perfectly, but I'll get on that next week, I promise. So let's see what we got working here, boys and girls. What am I supposed to do with this? Thank you for your patience. I totally appreciate it. So let's see. Come on, guys. Oops. All right, here we go. So this is just a curry stand tikka that I found online. So let's see. Okay. All right, so I have simmered my sauce for about 3 minutes. It's supposed to simmer for 10. So I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Oh, it's down as low as it can be. So anyway, hello, Jody. What we can do now is we can work on the cocktail for the day. And so I have been doing this, as you guys know, a lot. I grate a big knuckle of ginger into this coffee filter, and then I pour the vodka in through the gin. So I ginger my vodka, and then I have juiced this morning 2 limes, a lemon, and a grapefruit. Hello, Caroline. And so the best thing here is that you can change it up every day. Tangerines, oranges, any kind of fruit juice. I've had pomegranate juice in these this week. Who knows? I'm just thinking, hey, what can I do to keep myself healthy these days, right? And I figure loading up on vitamin C is the way to go. So here's this. Oh, look, a clean end. Let's stir that up. Oh, yes. Excellent. Oh, that's going to be a pretty color today, too, with that ruby red grapefruit in there. Here we go. Clean that off, both ends. Excellent. So how are we doing time-wise? 11? Okay. So just another minute or 2 on the sauce. And then it calls for, how much? I need cream, paprika, and a tablespoon of sugar. Let's do it. So, sugar, paprika, how much paprika? And how much cream? Let's see here. Here we go. 2 teaspoons of paprika. Fantastic. So, I've got my teaspoon. I've got my paprika. I've got sugar. And in 2 seconds, I'm going to have the cream out. Now, this calls for whipping cream, but I have heavy cream, so I'm not going to spend extra money on a different container of soon-to-expire stuff. That's right. Gingered vodka is like the most healthy thing that you can think of. What am I here for? I'm here for cream. Here's the cream. Excellent. And, oh gosh, guys, I'm almost there. Almost knocked bacon fat out. I saw the cutest thing. I think one of you who's on here, hello, Vicki, may have been the one who suggested it, but to take an egg carton and put your bacon grease into the bottom of egg cartons, and then you freeze it, or not freeze it, you can just pop it out once it's cooled, put it in a plastic bag, and then you have little like tablespoons of bacon fat. What a great idea. All right, so my rice over here is starting to move around, so I'm going to give it a stir, and then I'm going to give it, close it, and turn it down. Where are we? Here we go. Excellent. And now I need 11. This needs 20 minutes from now. So I'll need another 10 minutes when this is done. And I need how much of the cream? 1 cup of cream. Do you think I got a cup of cream in here? Probably no. So I'm going to fake it. Watch me fake this and fake it big, boys and girls. So let's see how much cream we have. I have 3/4 of a cup of cream. So watch me put a 1/4 cup of water in here to get to a cup of cream. Excellent. So here's this, and we needed 2 teaspoons of paprika. And that doesn't fit, so I'm going to use this one so I can get 1, 2, 3. That's 2 teaspoons and half teaspoons. And we needed sugar, a tablespoon of sugar. Here we go. And a tablespoon of sugar, perfect. And we are I'm going to stir that up just a little bit. And put this right in here. Excellent. Perfect. Hey, yummo. So, you know, I said that this is the first time I've ever made chicken tikka, and that's because, you know, I could walk to Little India from my house. So it's really hard to make your own Indian food when the people who are the experts are all around you. So I'm excited to see how this works out. You know, chicken tikka masala is the most popular dish in the UK. And it is not a traditional Indian dish. It is an anglicized version of Indian food. So that's why we like it so much, because it takes all of the deliciousness of Indian food, but then also adds all of the stuff that we like as Westerners. And, you know, when you talk about food in the United States, the cuisine of the United States is really the cuisine of the South, right? And how we learned to make food. And what do? Whenever somebody has something at your house and says, oh my gosh, this is so delicious, how do you make this? The answer in the South is always salt, pepper, fat, and sugar, right? And that's basically what we've got here is pepper, fat, and sugar. What could be more delicious, right? So this looks fabulous. I've got a few little specks of cayenne or a paprika that might still be not completely incorporated. But that looks beautiful. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring you right over here. Ta-da, ta-da. Hello, Vander. Look, can you see it? Doesn't that look good? That's going to be delicious. So, it's smelling like $1 million, pardon me guys, $1 million in here. I've got 6 minutes for this. I've got 6 minutes for this. And I've got a couple minutes for this. So that's really all there is to this. I think it's going to be fantastic. And, you know, what could be better than to make something that's incredibly flavorful? And if, like me, you've got this giant spinning tray of thousands of containers of herbs and spices, you might as well get using them because they do not last forever. And then I think I've officially gotten too big for it. One of these days I'm going to have another bagel, but maybe Caroline could teach us how to make bagels here one day. She does that brilliantly. So I'm just going to put that back. More stuff in here. See how this is looking? That's looking great. And I don't know, guys. 5 minutes. Anybody have any questions? Anybody want to talk about anything today? Let's see. Get caught up with Good Girls. Okay. I don't know about Good Girls. I'll have to put that on my list of things to do. What did I do? I got caught up with Little Fires Everywhere yesterday, and I'm loving that. And then what else? Anybody else have any good ideas? Hello, Beth. And I don't know. Now I'm just in a holding pattern. I have to just sit here and wait for everything to be ready. So that's what I'm doing today. I hope you guys are going to have something really amazing. I hope that everybody's keeping their heads together. I was in a pretty grumpy mood this morning, and I am not so grumpy now. I guess something about making food, having somebody to talk to. Tomorrow is day 1 of week 7 for me. I can name on these fingers and have some to spare of who I have seen face to face since the 5th or 6th, the 7th, I guess the 7th of April. No, wait a minute. What's this month? The 7th of March. Oh my good Lord. So anyway, I'm going to go a little crazy one of these days. So hello, Lo. How are you? Hello, Carrie. And so, Caroline, we're making tikka masala sauce. I've got rice on, and I've got cauliflower roasting in the oven in lieu of chicken, because I've been doing a vegetarian week this week, and as I said, this is probably the longest I've ever gone in my life without eating meat. And I have to be honest, I've been borderline hungry all week long. So I have so much respect for people who are able to do entirely plant-based things and no animal at all. But as I pointed out to some friends who are vegan, you know, the way that olives are harvested makes it so that olive oil is absolutely not vegan. There are way too many animals killed in harvesting olives. So there are a lot of things that you would really have to give up to be an ethical vegan, right? And I'm not sure that I can make that change, at least not quickly, because my body likes the calorie denseness of cheese and eggs, and when I'm hungry, I never go looking for anything. Most people go looking for sweets or go looking for bread. I only want bread if I can put some cheese on it. And so when I'm really hungry, I go looking for protein. I'm looking for nuts. I'm looking for cheese. And so since carbohydrates aren't really my big friend or my big foe, I'll literally just pick up a chicken leg and walk out the door and say that's food for the day, and that gets me going. So I'm just trying to be more conscientious, you know. We're not getting, especially as New Yorkers, who probably just getting up and getting out of the house and running errands and getting to work, probably walk 4,000 or 5,000 steps every day. And so this not being able to do just that, right? If you don't get the first 5,000 steps, then you're behind for your 10,000 steps. So really, I think for those of you who live in car country, those of us who live in foot country need to do probably another 5,000 or 10,000 steps on top of what you're doing. None of us are getting that now. At least I'm not, because it's scary out there. There's so few people in the streets. I feel like that if I were to fall down, no one would hear me scream. So, it's only fun to walk when you've got somebody with you. All right, that is looking good. That's pretty rice. And oh golly, you guys, that is such a pretty color. As a matter of fact, it matches my outfit today. Look. Isn't that lovely? All right, let's get that. I'm going to let that close entirely because there's no chance of that boiling over. And 1 minute, 18 seconds. It sounds great in there. Let's see what we're doing. So I'm going to close that solidly. It's not going to boil over anymore. Just a few seconds left for this. I'm trying so hard to become the kind of person who actually follows a recipe. So there's my attempt. Kelly says all she's getting is fat. Hello, Ben. How are you? Hello, Angie. Yeah, right. As a vegan, I'll try, but boy, it's hard to not. For me, the vegan problem is butter. I learned to cook like, you know, French style, and I don't know what to do without the butter. And again, if we're going to talk about being an ethical vegan, and I have to get rid of olive oil too, and olives and tapenade, that's a lot to give up, man, guys. That's a lot. So anyway, I'm going to do my best. And I'll probably eat my weight in lamb on Sunday, but who knew? All right, guys, so I'm going to, it sounds like the end of Ocean's 11 over here. Oh, looky-loo, guys. That's going to be perfect. Covered up with that stuff. So I'm just going to, so I don't have to worry about where that hot pan sits, I'm just going to turn the oven off. There's my timer. I'm going to need probably about 10 more minutes for the rice to finish. And I'm just going to do it so I don't forget. But what the heck else, guys? I guess I need some ice in my cup so I can have a drinky poo. And I hope that you guys all have a wonderful day. Out here in New York, it's gray and overcast and cold. When I woke up this morning, it was 66 degrees in my apartment. So it took me a while to kind of get going. And let's see, I love cauliflower too. And yes, I think I'm going to have to, I guess, get out and go to a real butcher tomorrow. But I'd like to have like a 6 rack of lamb for Sunday. And then what are we going to do tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow I'm going to make a minted pea soup, something that's perfect for your Easter table, perfect for the season, and great to serve either hot or cold. So that's kind of where I am. How do we do today, guys? So it smells so good in here. I so wish. Hello, Carrie. I wish you guys could all come over. This is supposed to be for 6 if it had chicken in it. But I think with the cauliflower, it's probably only 2 or 3. But if anybody lives nearby and you've been in quarantine and you have a mask, please just come right over and I'll fill you up a bowl. How does that sound? So that's all I know. That's all I got going on today, except that I am clearly going to have to figure out something about the dishwashing liquid, because I think I'm barely going to get these washed today before I have to go out for dishwashing liquid. So guys, thank you all again for coming by. Hello, Kevin. You guys you make my day. You give me something to do. I'm able to get my work done in like 20 minutes a day. And so I need something to ground me. We all need something to ground ourselves. So what I'm going to say to you is, what are you going to do for you today? I hope that everybody took the time to do a little something nice for somebody else yesterday. But today, what are you going to do for you? I would say the first thing maybe you might want to do is take a bubble bath. Open a special bottle of wine. Maybe we all probably could use a pedicure. I know I could. So I think that's the nice thing I'm going to do for me today, is give myself a pedicure after I eat this big giant bowl of delicious, delicious Tikka Masala that I've made. So guys, that's all. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to make pea soup, mint pea soup, because I made like a winter pea soup a couple of weeks ago that was just a knockout. And that's all I know for today. So again, I thank you all so much for coming. I thank you all for being here with me. And I hope everybody has a great day. Ciao.